Hi guys, it's Iggy, and today I'm going to teach you how to paint a wasp nest in Photoshop. First, I'm going to add a new layer by going to Layer, New, and then Layer, because we want to paint on a new layer rather than on the background itself, because this will allow us to actually manipulate the painting that we're going to do. And we're going to start off by just painting a really crude shape that will be basically the shape of a beehive or a wasp nest. And we're going to paint this in. And we don't want it to be perfect, because a wasp nest would not be perfect. It would be disheveled and messy. So we want it to look pretty rough. And I'm using a Wacom to do this. You should be able to use a mouse if you don't have a tablet. Either or. And there we have a basic beehive shape. And I'm going to make this a little bit thinner and a little bit more roundy down here. Then we're going to choose black, and we're going to make a beehive hole, because the wasps would have to get into said beehive. And then I'm going to use my smudge tool. Oops. And I'm going to just kind of not do what I think I'm going to do. Okay, there we go. We're going to just... If you make mistakes, it's okay. The smudge tool will fix it. As you can see, I'm going to smooth out my wasp hole here. And there. Now we're going to select the burn tool, one of my favorite tools in Photoshop. And I'm just going to, no, that's too small, paint some very crude lines to give it a little texture. And it's okay if they're not perfect, because as you will see, we'll be able to fix that. This is to give it an impression that it's being wrapped around, such as a real wasp nest would be. And it, like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. And then we're going to take the dodge tool, and we're going to do the same exact thing. That might be too big. Just to give it some lighter areas. And you can see that my strokes are showing pretty badly, but that's okay, because we can fix that. And I'm going to come in here and carefully kind of lighten this. Now we're going to take our smudge tool. We're going to turn off shape dynamics, and we're going to smooth this around. Actually, I'm going to use a lower setting so that my smudging isn't as prominent. The more strength, the less strength you have, it'll give you a kind of lesser effect than when you have it really high, which will give you a stronger effect. But I want mine low, because I just want to kind of smooth out these areas that don't look right. Now I'm going to put my shape tool back on, and then I'm just going to kind of bring these lines out a little so that they actually look like they're wrapping around the nest itself, such as wrappings would do, and give it a more three-dimensional kind of look to it. This is my first time painting a wasp nest, but it's pretty straightforward. Didn't think it would be too difficult. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my contrast and my brightness a little. And do it again. I'm going to desaturate it a little bit. And I'm going to go in here and smooth these lines out. Then I'm going to take the burn tool once again, and I'm just going, oops, that's the dodge tool. Burn tool. Aha. And then I'm going to paint a darkened edge all the way around. This will give more of an impression of 3D because the edges of anything, when you look at it, will be kind of dark as it's rounding off. And I'm actually going to bring that in a little. And darken that up too. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the dodge tool in the middle, and actually I'm going to darken it again. Let's use Legacy. That might be too... And maybe I'll saturate it a little. Smooth it out a little more. And I'm going to take the burn tool and I'm going to switch the range to midtones. And I'm just going to kind of go over it a little bit. Let's turn the exposure down. This will darken up the lines that we painted. And there you have it. Oops. Sometimes it's better to paint on a lighter background because you can see defects than when you have a darker background. And there's our wasp nest. And that will conclude our tutorial for today. Thanks for watching.